So this is just a quick video on the SAT topics identities. And so here you can see that when you square this, when you FOIL this out, you really don't get these two terms. You don't get the first, there's a middle term. First, outside, inside, last. You're missing the outside plus the inside. Or if you remember the formula, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, you can see that you're missing the 2ab, the middle term. 2 times 3a times b is this middle term right here that you have to make sure you remember. And then here, you can see it simplifies to 6ab. Same exact issue over here. There's a missing middle term, the 2ab term in the middle, the o and the I of the FOIL. So you have, the 4x squared corresponds, and the minus, and you can see the 9y squared. Very similar, but what you've got to do is you got to also multiply it. You have to add in the middle term. 2 times 2x times negative 3y is negative 12xy, and that's what it should be. 66. When you FOIL this out, you notice that these are not exactly the difference of squares. So you can't actually assume that it's going to be an a squared minus b squared. You just have to FOIL it out like you normally would without trying to do any shortcuts. And you get 6a squared and then negative 6b squared for the last terms. And then the inside terms is negative 9ab plus a 4ab, which is negative 5ab. Here for problem number 44 on page 77, you can see that the numerator factors and then the x minus 2 cancels, and so you're left with x plus 8, yes, it is an identity. And note, you might think, Mr. Bergman, how are we supposed to think about the value of 2, because you can't actually plug it in to check. So you can just say that if you're worried about that, you can say that x equals 2 is not a meaningful replacement. In other words, this equation is true for all meaningful replacements, and x minus 2 is not a meaningful replacement. Number 48, you can see here when you FOIL, you get this, and this has a middle term and this does not. So you can actually subtract x squared and 49 from both sides to get 14x equals 0. And so therefore, x equals 0 is the only value that could make this possibly true. It's actually a solution. That's the only solution to this equation. An identity has to have an infinite number of solutions. It has to be true for all values of x. And really, this one's only true for one value of x. So the equation is not an identity.